Welcome to another episode of Gully Cricket to Bouncy Wicket podcast, and we are closing out PL preview season of ours with super fans with Sunrisers Hyderabad. I'm your host Raja, and I have Manoj with me. And joining us on this preview is a very special guest from all the way from USA. Is our dear friend Abhinav, who's a huge fan of Sunrisers Hyderabad ever since the days of Deccan Chargers, and that madness has just grown manyfold. And he's actually joining us very early in the morning for him, so that just tells you how passionate he is about sharing his views on the team. So welcome Abhinav, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for the brief introduction, Raja. And I've been following your podcast, guys. It's amazing. I mean, it's taking me down the memory lane in most of the instances, like Deccan Chargers here in this particular case. And I also remember how you were supporting them back in the day, and we had our share of stories.
Correct.
Manoj, yes, Manoj, I knew as the serious guy who was very passionate about cricket back from the college days, and it's really heartwarming. I don't know if that's the right choice of the word, but to see you guys doing something like this, hope this can only grow leaps and bounds from here. And happy to be part of this particular episode.
Thanks a lot, Abhinav. So just to kick things off. Why are you a fan of SRH, and how did the whole association begin?
Before jumping into cricket, I was used to follow a soccer or football, depending on which part of the world you are. So I used to follow that, and I always used to wonder when I was a teenager, I mean, before 2008, that, why don't we have a league in cricket? And I used to be an ardent fan of Manchester United. And I used to be surprised, like how certain teams, our rival teams or teams in the league, used to support their fan bases, despite them not even playing in the Premier League for years together, for generations together. So that was always back of my head, and I was waiting for something similar to happen in cricket. And when the T20 World Cup happened, which eventually gave birth to this this brainchild of IPL, I immediately made my decision. It was a no-brainer when they mentioned that Deccan Chargers is going to be a Hyderabad-based franchise. And if you guys remember, I think that was the Avengers before Avengers, right? The 2008 team was, at least on paper,
Absolutely.
if you look at the team, if you look at the names, with Herschel Gibbs, with Adam Gilchrist,
Shahid
all
Afridi.
those guys, Shahid Afridi. I mean, people might have different opinions about, Andrew Simons, all these guys. It was like too good to be true on the paper. And, I remember just walking around my college, like hostel corridors, like as if we have won it already. Like, guys, please just give the trophy to us, and, we got this. But I think, but it took a while. I think 2008 didn't turn out as we expected. And if I'm not wrong, I think we started with a jersey which was like what like a coffee color, a
Right.
a matcha tea, matcha coffee color jersey. But and we had to change everything from 2009, right?
Correct.
And another thing which I particularly enjoyed was, in fact, we were in Lions Den, Raja, UI, and Manoj, we are at the CSK homeland, right?
Correct.
And, I remember us supporting Deccan Chargers. In 2009 when, oh man, it was memorable for me. I remember running down the corridor doors, just, yelling out of my lungs and, just celebrating as if I won it. Yeah, that's where it started. I mean, it was a bumpy ride, but I at least till now, it's not, I don't regret it. And even though the franchise closed, Deccan Chargers, it moved on to Sunrisers Hyderabad. I always had a reason to support them. In fact, I might be the one kind of a fan. Usually, at least when IPL started in India, people pick their teams based on their favorite players, right? I like Dravid, I like Saurav Ganguly, I like Sachin. That's how their loyalties got established. But for me, it was the other way around. I probably started liking the players after they started representing for Deccan Chargers and Sunrisers Hyderabad, like Kane Williamson, like players you probably would never jump into the bandwagon immediately. I mean, not that he's any less of a player, but you start idealizing him. I started idolizing him more once he became a Sunrisers player.
Right.
So that's how it started, and since then, 2012, till date, it's Sunrisers Hyderabad. It's to be honest, it's not an easy thing to be a Sunrisers fan every time there's a season, but you still stick around to celebrate the wins like 2009 and 2016.
Lovely, lovely. That's a great answer and an explanation. And at least for me, since we have the same stories, I can truly relate to what you just said. So moving on to the recent past of IPL 2020, the season for SRH started off a little bumpy, and they were in the first 11 games. SRH lost like 7 matches, and they had to win 3 games back to back to get into the playoffs against all the 3 teams who had qualified for the playoffs. So your thoughts on how the 2020 season panned out?
So if I have to summarize 2020 season, you know how critical I am about Manish Pandey, Raja, because I have high hopes on him. Again, not that he's not performing there, but I think 2020 he had a good start. If I have to be honest, he was doing his part. He was putting 30s, 40s, and 50s out there, supporting the team. But like you said, I think first match against RCB, our favorite opponent, for 2009 finals and 2016 finals. We started with them. We lost Mitchell Marsh, like you said, Bhuvi, and I think for the first few matches with RCB, SRH, our combination was not right. I mean, as much as I liked seeing spark in Priyam Garg and Abhishek Sharma, they didn't took off. They were not doing gelled into the side right away and started contributing. It was, I think, down the line, like you mentioned, where we started, picking our rhythm. I think I particularly like this Priyam Garg's and Abhishek Sharma's, I think, cameo against CSK, right?
Correct.
Because if anyone who is, been above us, bettering us most of the time at CSK, right? So it was refreshing to see that, our boys performing well, especially the youngsters, and winning against CSK. And I think then later, slowly our team started, finding its rhythm. And I think Jason Holder, turned out to be a good plug-in as an all-rounder, right, at later stages. And he started contributing. And one match I particularly was disappointed was against Punjab, if I'm not wrong.
The collapse.
The collapse, right. So I think that's pretty much the theme as well, which I would like to see SRH working on. It's like at times we struggle with, below par targets as well, right? So, that's something, but we still managed. We still had some streak, bettering TC twice, at least in the group stages, and, winning against RCB, MI. So if you ask me, yes, it was a bumpy ride, but I did expect them to get into playoffs.
And coming to the auction pre this particular season, they just released bare minimum players of who were on the bench, essentially. Guys like Sanjay Yadav, Bhavana Kasandeep, Billy Stanlake, Fabian Allen, and Prithviraj, and they added just 3 players: Kedar Jadhav, Jagadisha Suchit, and Mujibur Rahman. Your word on how the auction process went through? Are there any problems that the persisting problems that you saw that they had to address and they didn't?
You always want, a set of players, and, you expect something to turn out in the way you want to. But one thing I can say is that it's a mini auction. And I like one concept, which I think Sunrisers has been consistent across, is that they tend to kind of retain the core. I mean, as much as independent of the performances, they believe in the concept of a unit. And I think they're putting emphasis to that. So I like that aspect of it. And the release players, I think, out of these guys, I think Billy Stanlake is the only guy who probably kind of had more caps, right? If I'm not wrong.
Right.
And Fabian Allen, I mean, he was exciting when we got him, but for some strange reason, I mean, probably because I think one area we have intense competition is for the, foreign caps within our starting 11. So, but added players might take on Mujibur Rahman was it more of like a chemistry, because that's more prominent in soccer, is because if you have a marquee signing, or if you feel that there's a player with a single nationality within the squad, you kind of add more just to kind of improve the camaraderie within those the team, like because they can complement each other, Rashid Khan and Mujibur Rahman. So maybe it's that kind of a move, but still this kid has it in him. It's not like he's a kind of like a squad purchase. It would be interesting to see how he would fit in. I think it's going to be difficult, but I hope he gets a couple of games. And
Right.
Jagadisha Suchit, I think he had glimpses of with Mumbai Indians. I guess I think that's where I saw him, and with Kings 11 Punjab. But yeah, I think we got him for 30 lakhs. So I'm not sure if he fits into our starting 11 right away. But he's a good squad player, I guess.
Right.
And last but not least, I definitely am surprised with Kedar Jadhav. But looking at our batting lineup, it is not a impulse buy, or it is like undecided buy. It's like I think there's some thinking going on the back of their head, but I hope he delivers his goods. I mean, if anyone, I'm crossing my fingers against this Kedar Jadhav this season.
Who do you think will
But
have a
this,
big year?
I mean, see, they're like big names. Again, if had you asked this question probably before Australia series, I would have said T Natarajan.
Right.
But it wouldn't be a surprise if I say that T Natarajan is a household name now, right? But three guys, I'm excited about, and I want them to kind of step up the season and probably establish themselves as Sunrisers players. I think the kids who are in the middle of the order, probably Priyam Garg and Abdul Samad, because Abdul Samad is supposed to be one, like rough time. And I remember watching an interview of Irfan Pathan, like how he was the one who scouted him, and that kid seems a bit fearless, like he gives me those vibes of those uh, like Rishabh Pant. Maybe if it's too early to kind of compare him to Rishabh Pant, but he is a bit fearless once he gets settled. And Priyam Garg, for obvious reasons, like I think like we were discussing back, how he stepped up and how he's taking some additional responsibility as well for the Mustaq Ali trophy. And
Right.
so these are the three players I'm looking out for. But the rest, I think they have their pedigree. They have their roles defined, and they know what they have to do. And I think they just have to deliver.
Those are really good choices, Abhinav. Very well explained as well. So, what are your expectations as a fan this time around? Where do you think the team will end up at the end of the season?
Being a Sunrisers fan, I think one thing I want them to do, expect out of them is playoffs. Um,
Right.
but looking at other franchises as well, how they're shaping up, I wouldn't jump and decide a spot like between 1 to 4. Ideally, one or two, because I'm not a big fan of this eliminators and and the final, because I think it's it's a moot point, because for a fourth team, like have to back matches, and
Correct. Correct.
but I think they have a reason, probably that's the reason, that's a motivation they need to have to kind of get to those top two places. But yeah, ideally I would like them to finish in top two places, but I'm a reasonable fan, a practical fan. So yeah, playoffs should be good enough for this team, and fingers crossed.
And going onwards. Good, good. Let's hope that they make the playoffs, and then it's anybody's tournament. And in
Right.
fact, since you mentioned eliminators, I think SRH is the only team who's won the IPL tournament as someone outside the top two, where they had to
Right, I
battle,
remember that.
yeah, back in 2016, where they had to battle their way through 3 knockouts to get to the trophy. So moving
Absolutely. Yeah.
onwards, who's your the team is starting off its campaign in Chennai, 5 matches in Chennai with on April 11th, starting off with KKR, and then 4 games
Right.
in Delhi, 3 in Kolkata and 2 in Bangalore. So who's your starting 11 for the first game?
So, I mean, two players, no brainer for me, or like three players would be like, I wouldn't care much about their form, but I would like to have them in my starting 11 is Warner, Rashid Khan, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar.
Right.
Because those guys are class and they deliver, right? They might have off days here and there, but you can count on them. My opening pair would be Warner and Johnny Bairstow. And Johnny Bairstow, considering his latest form,
Right.
I think it's good, at least for the starting few matches. I think Sunrisers would like to take advantage of his form and slot him in. So that takes away three foreign players, if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
So, right. So my fourth pick for the foreign player is going to be tricky because I think one thing it's going to be a good problem for us is picking up our foreign, players within our starting 11. But looking at the balance of the team, I would probably start with Jason Holder because he's a good all-rounder option.
Right.
So that's I'll give him a go for Jason Holder if I'm given a chance. So again, coming back to the other Indian players, Manish Pandey, and for number 4, I probably am confused between Saha, Priyam Garg, and Abhishek Sharma. I'm not sure. Probably it would depend on opposition to opposition. I think
Right.
that's a good problem to have as well. They probably will pick that slot depending on who we are playing against and what are the strengths of our opposition and how we can kind of take advantage of them. Probably, I think we can start with Kedar Jadhav as well. I think because there is a specific reason why we bought him in because we need that stability in the middle order because that's where we've been struggling. It's pretty much our openers carrying the team across when it comes to batting, and I think Kedar Jadhav's domestic experience and his experience will come into help here, especially when we have players like Priyam Garg and Abhishek Sharma on the other side, right? I think they can complement each other. So I would probably give it go to Kedar Jadhav as well. For the other all-rounder slot, maybe Vijay Shankar. I don't know if the fitness, probably I think he's fit. Cut me if I'm wrong, but to start with, my last two bowlers would be Sandeep Sharma and Natarajan. And Sandeep Sharma is pretty much no less than a IPL must to have. Like as much as he concedes runs here and there, he still
Correct.
picks up wickets.
And
Uh,
interestingly,
yeah,
he is the one who led the attack after Bhuvi fell down, right?
right,
Bhuvi got injured.
right,
He
right,
did a very brilliant job last time I felt. It's a very well-rounded
right.
team. I think that's a good place to start off with, at least for the first games, and then see where Jadhav is, if he's able to do the job, or even do we need the Kane factor back. It's a good team to have, and as you said, a team of options, and it's a good problem to have. So let's just open up the discussion to the other guys in the panel now. So, guys, do you have
Yeah.
anything to add or any questions or any thoughts?
So, who do you think will open with David Warner for this season? Will Vidman Saha retain his spot at number 1, or will they look at Johnny Bairstow?
I think it should be Johnny Bairstow because they have like a good partnership or a chemistry. Top the order, and when they take off, both of them take off. They are very explosive. And Wriddhiman Saha, knowing his contributions to Sunrisers, and I think he wouldn't mind slotting into other positions, and and he's capable of rotating the strike as well, right? He can play a support role or anchor role if someone on the other side is
Yep.
going explosive. So that's my take on it. Raja, what do you think?
I agree. I think at least initially it would be criminal to let Bairstow off, considering the kind of form he's coming in with. But a good option is that you could play Saha and Bairstow as well. Because Bairstow has played at number 4 for England in the T20I International Series, so you could have an option of having Saha open with Warner and and Bairstow slotting it at number 4, or the other way around. So that's a good problem to have.
Thanks for the insights, guys. So, moving on, I still can't get my head around the fact that they've picked Kedar Jadhav in the IPL auction. With all due respect, he's a great player, but do you think he's a value add for this team? Do you think he will get an opportunity in this season? What are your thoughts?
My impulsive reaction, at least from my end, was the same as well. The first thing which came onto my mind was why Kedar Jadhav, and I was confused.
Right.
But it took me a while to kind of look into our strengths and our previous season's performances and our strength as a middle order. I think not that he would be a great mentor, but I think we need someone with an experience, slotting into that, like, middle order, especially complementing if the young talent like Priyam Karg and Abdul Samad. So I think they placed a punt. If it works, it works. But if it doesn't, I mean, 2 crores, 280,000 USD is not a big deal considering the franchise's purse and other options they have.
I
Raja,
agree.
what do you think about
I
it?
agree. There are a couple of things that are going into the 3-4 things, in fact, to going into Jadav's favor this time around. The first point is that SRH as a franchise has a history of extracting performances from players that are usually thought of to be a past sell-by date. If I forgive my use of the language, but the guys like Ashish Nehra or Yusuf Pathan or even the great Yuvraj Singh, they had a second wind at SRH. So I think there's something in the back end of the team which
Right.
will help Jadav find his mojo back. There's another factor which is going into this favor is that the team is starting off its campaign in Chennai for the first 5 games. So no better opportunity. He knows the conditions well. He's played with the CSV for the longest time, and there's no better place where he can get back into rhythm if he's given in the opportunities. At least initially, I don't know if you want to bring Jadhav back in the latter half of the tournament while making him sit for the first set, because that if you just make him play the first few games, you'll get to understand how good he is or what kind of a mindset he's coming in with. As you said, there he would like to prove his doubters wrong. And the fourth point is coming in his favor is that he's coming into the tournament with some kind of a domestic form. He's did very well for Maharashtra in the few innings that he played either in the Syed Mushtaq Ali or the Vijay Hazare. So there are a few things going right for him. And as Abhinav already said, it is still a punt, but it's a punt that might work. Another thing that has happened in the back room is that Tom Moody is back in SRH. He has been with a part of the franchise right from its inception, and he was instrumental in building this core. So Tom Moody is back as in the camp as director of cricket, and Trevor Bayliss and Brad Haddin are still there, along with Lakshman and Murli. Question that I had, another one, was that we know that Mitch Marsh has pulled out of this season and SRH got in Jason Roy instead of him as an overseas option. So do you think that was a decent addition to the franchise, or could the team have done with more experienced, say, overseas fast bowler or someone, or a batting or an all-rounder to that extent? What do you guys think?
So yeah, Raja. So as I was saying, it's not a like for like replacement. Obviously, you have already Ridhwan Saha or Prem Garg who can open with Warner. I think Jason Roy would, in my opinion, is not a great pick. They could have looked at another all-rounder or a quick in this case.
So yeah, I mean, this is one decision which is still surprising to me as well. I mean, why go for someone just because he's out there? Is it like if the replacement should be coming for the same price as well? Because I know that Mitchell Marsh is for 2 crores, and we got Jason Roy for the same price. So would that be one of the reason?
No, so since you can only, so there are 2 points here. The teams can pick replacement players from somebody who has registered for the auction, and only from the pool of players who have registered. It's not someone that was done well in the last this thing last month or not. And they are picked up at their base prices only. So it's not,
okay.
So yeah. So there's no point of pricing here. And just before we wind up, the final point that I wanted to get your views on is like Bhuvneshwar Kumar, after a long injury and a long recovery and injuries again, he's played all 8 games of international cricket in the ODI and T20 formats recently. So a word on Bhuvneshwar being fit and firing, and his importance to the SRH.
So Raja, answering your question, Bhuvi has been one of the prime reasons why SRH has been such a great bowling unit. He's one of the great death bowlers that we have. So he playing well in the England series and also being in prime form would obviously help SRH. Yeah, I think the confidence levels will sort of help the youngsters. It would be a great great asset that he's is in form as well.
Adding to Manoj, he's a clutch player. I mean, if you ask me, you'd like to have him when you're playing really close matches, like, and who do you turn out to in, probably 18th and 20th over Bhuvi to me. I mean, yes, other ballers are pulling their weight and, they're contributing to the team. But I think that, at least for a Sunrisers fan, it gives a sense of assurance when Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is starting. So,
Absolutely.
to your point that yes, he returned from the injury, but he showed glimpses of his brilliance in the recent series with England. So, I hope he stays fit.
Thanks for the great discussion, guys. And that brings us to the close of IPL previews. And thank you, Abhinav, for joining us all the way from USA. And Manoj, thank you.
Pleasure, guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. And yeah, happy to be part of this.
It was great to have you, and we hope you, come back on the forum again and to share insight maybe during the season as it progresses.
You guys are like, I probably know all. So it's been a fun discussion, and as much as I would say fun, I did have to check my facts because I'm talking to the stalwarts who know their game in and out. So it's refreshing. Yes, it's especially talking to a fellow SRH fan. Not we are an extinct species. There are not many out there. So Raja, it's glad to catch up with you and go down the memory lane, like how we celebrated 2009 and 16 wins, and how we still continue to endure pains here and there and support our franchise. But also it's for a change, refreshing to hear views from Manoj and his view and what his take and the questions. So overall, I really enjoyed the conversations, guys, and I'll come back. I think I'm having a sense of look into future here. Probably you guys will call me back after Sunrisers lifts the 2021 trophy.
Oh, brilliant! I hope that comes true. And I'm speaking as a very partial fan here and not as a host, but yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to our IPL previews, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did bringing it out to you. And a word of a PSA, if I could add, the virus is doing its rounds pretty badly across the country and across the world. So please stay safe and please make sure that you follow all the protocols. And we hope to see you back again and healthy and fit. Thank you so much.